Okay, we are live and we wish to, first of all, this is Stephen the Channeler.
And Stephanie.
And we want to thank you guys for missing our Saturday. We were out of town and traveling, and it just wouldn't have been feasible for us to do a live. We were down in Monterey, California. So, welcome back, everyone. And it is very nice to have people tuning in. Looks like we're tuning in from places like Yorkshire, England, Folsom, California, Long Beach, Tyrol, Austria. I'm not familiar with Tyrol. I wonder where that is. And Price, Utah, Groves, Texas. Please chime in if you're joining us from anywhere else. We'll read you off as you come in. Chile in the house. Beautiful. So we already have global energetic established here. And I hear a cat being somewhere in the house meowing. Very good. So here we are. We have South Africa joining. And yes, beautiful. The globe is starting to become really well represented. We need someone from Asia now. So I don't know if our favorite viewer from Vietnam is on or not. Maybe they'll join. Very good. Well, welcome back, everyone. And sorry for the week off there. And we're past that now and settling in here. And we started right at 11:11. We have Thailand in the house. All right. So now it's fully global. We've got pretty much the whole Earth represented, except maybe Antarctica. Anyway, the Netherlands. Hi. Very good. Queensland, Australia. Very good. All right. So if you guys can feel this, it's a small gathering so far, but we are well represented in terms of dragon lines, dragon nodes. You are all dragon keepers indeed. And so this is a dragon keeping gathering, isn't it? Very good. Well, without much more ado, I think I will tune in with Jadon Se, and we'll see what he has for those assembled here today. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and I welcome the fellow Dragon Keepers here. You are Dragon Energy workers, light workers, all of you. We welcome you, and it is good to be back. If you would like a reading that includes your energetic, at this moment, simply give me permission to access your energetics, and you will be included in this group reading. We have a few blessings to do today. It is a few footsteps into this golden archway of the equinox, so to speak, and we are just taking a little stroll into the golden age, so to speak. Very good. So if you have given me permission to read your energetics, then this reading is for you. The most important thing for all of you right now is express yourselves. Express yourselves with deep authenticity. Express yourselves the real you. Yes, be the real you. Let your own light shine, even if you think maybe not everyone is receptive to your energetics, your way of being, your consciousness. Some children may roll their eyes when mommy or daddy is speaking about dragons or giving a blessing or singing to the trees or doing something high vibe, you might say. Let it out. It is a time to stop hiding your light from those around you. It is a time to shine. Shine the brighter. Shine for all, because as you shine, those around you are having your light cast upon them. And it is a little bit like laughter. It can be very infectious. If you ever been to a place where several people are just laughing and suddenly it spreads and almost everyone there is laughing, This is what your light is like. Do not be ashamed of any woo-woo that you might carry. Do not be shut down by analytical people or scientific-minded people who just look down their nose at you as you shine. You are scientific and analytical too, dear ones. You know a little more, let us say, than the average person knows in terms of what is real, what is happening on the surface and beneath the surface, so to speak. Those who are just looking superficially at the mechanistic reality around you, do not judge them. They just simply have not developed a deeper vision yet. So do not get stuck on their disdain if they look down their nose at you when you are shining. Just laugh and smile and share that light. Brush it aside. Be the real you. It is so important for you to open your hearts at this time, to move with authenticity. Show your little quirks. Even if you think that people might think you're a little crazy, do not be afraid of this. This golden age is a time where no one is truly crazy. It is just everyone exploring their own joy, their own dreams, so to speak. And if your dreams are crazy to someone who is stuck in an office cubicle, then be proud of that. Or if they are stuck in a laboratory wearing a white lab coat, having people look down their noses at them and frowning if it is not the proper procedure or whatever. Smile for them, shine towards them so that they can feel the light of their own heart, their own true self. They may be stuck in this 3D world a little longer than you, but if they see your light shining, theirs might just start shining too, and they might unstuck themselves, you might say. This is not a proper word. Unstick would be technically correct, but you get the picture. They might come free and start walking a little farther away from their 0 point, you might say. They might leave their cubicle for a moment or two and feel the sunshine. It is important for you all to shine your light at this time. And as you do this, it is equally important for you to know that everyone is moving into this opportunity, this golden age. Some may jump headlong into it. Some may take their time. Some may drag their heels. And even if this is your loved ones, dear ones, even if this is someone you care deeply about and they are clinging on to the old densities, they are clinging on to the old reality, do not worry. They are safe. They are protected and loved just as you are. It is just not their time to bloom yet. Every flower has its season, so to speak. And so just hold the light for them as well. Your loved ones are safe. No one is being truly left behind in this golden age. All will see in due time. Do not prod and poke and shove people through the golden arch into the golden era, or just walk confidently into this new dawn, this new light, and those around you may or may not see the shining eyes that you carry, the smile upon your face. They may not see the first rays of light making your hair turn like into golden fire. They may not understand necessarily that there is a golden age coming. But as you shine your light and walk into this new dawn, many will notice, dear ones. And this is what we do as dragon keepers, as light workers. We uplift. That is our purpose. Uplift those around you, maybe not necessarily directly. They may just see your golden example, so to speak. And dear ones, there is more. As you walk into this new golden age, there are so many things that will feel like they are pulling you back. There are so many, it will feel like hands are coming out from the other side of that golden arch and trying to drag you back into the 3D, into the density, into lack and suffering and struggle. And dear ones, do not look at these challenges, so to speak, as a curse or that you are being stopped or blocked. Look at these as a blessing in disguise. Anything that is rising up right now in your life that feels like stuck energy or feels like the old densities, it feels like, why am I suddenly struggling for finances after all this time of abundance? And aren't we moving into greater abundance? Why is this happening? Or it might be, why am I having health issues right now? Or someone I love is having great difficulties. Dear ones, these are blessings in disguise. What these are the old energies coming up to be let go of. They are reminding you of what you have passed through. For instance, if you have had a little bit of luck, let us say, lately, or your abundance has been flowing, or your health has been great, or you have been traveling, living your dreams, so to speak, and all of a sudden it feels like, wait a minute, I'm being dragged backwards a little. It is not that, dear ones. It is for you to stop and remember all of the struggles you came through to be where you stand now. These energies are like echoes from the density. They are just little reminders. Ah, yes, I overcame all of these obstacles. I made it through all of these densities. I made it through these dark times. And this is just a little reminder of what I made it through, so that I can better appreciate this golden age as it truly dawns, and have deeper and deeper gratitude that we are leaving those energies behind. It is very important to stay positive at this time. When challenges arrive and you feel like maybe this is a step backwards, do not fall into old patterns and habits, dear ones. This is just an opportunity to take a fresh look at what you are letting go of. Very good. And there is a little more coming through for each of you. There is an opportunity now for each of you, just reading in the chat where the others are from. You do not need to reach out to them directly, though that is fine if you wish to. If you wish to find other dragon keepers around the world, node keepers of the dragon lines, workers of the dragon energies, light workers, those who are working for the ascension of Gaia and humanity, you can not only reach out to them directly, get their email address or whatever it is, phone number thing. You can also just tune in to those who are gathered here. Know that you are part of, you might call this an order, the order of the cosmic dragon. We are here to help uplift those around us through the use of our own gifts and talents and abilities, many of which are just waking up at this time. Yes, dear ones, many of you are awakening to, you might say, connected lifetimes where you are more creative, or a more potent healer, or wise beyond words and years. All of these abilities, you might say, are simply your birthright coming through at this time. For you have agreed to be here to be of service to the ascension of Gaia. That can be being of service to other people. It can be being of service to the environment, the beauty of nature, plants and trees and animals and clear skies and clean waters. You will be guided to make a difference in the way that is most natural to you. And this is a time to really listen to this guidance. If you feel a tug to start a project. Maybe it is a humanitarian project. Maybe it is a creative project, beautiful artwork or music that you wish to create, poetry. Mm, do not shy away from these feelings, dear ones. If you feel like it is time for you to go out and clean up some trash you saw along your road to help Gaia, to unburden her from the pollution and the low vibe energies, just joyfully do that. If you are called to come and join some sort of effort to clean up a beach or a place, or to help with the health of a waterway, or help with some animals that are in need of assistance, this is a time for you to really pay attention to these sudden desires and inspirations. It is a time for your passion to lead the way. If you feel that your heart is opening and shining at some idea, follow it. Yes, dear ones. And before we get into a little bit of back and forth, perhaps a little Q&A, this dragon is going to offer a blessing. This is a blessing of the star rivers. Since all of you are dragon keepers, that means that your residence is now on a node between the dragon lines, or an intersection of dragon energies, you might say. You are a node keeper, a dragon keeper, we are calling this. And many of you are much more than this. You are dragon speakers, you are dragon seers, you are dragon riders even. Let us now, each of us who are working with these dragon energies, tune in to the rivers of energy that are coming from the cosmos around, into the dragon grid, the dragon lines. They are coming from the stars, from your Andromeda nearby, from the greater cosmos. It is like there is a glow, a great glow of divine light that goes into the eternal, the infinite, and it is gathering around this your Gaia. It is coalescing and glowing brighter and coming, and there are great rivers of light and energy. Some of them are green, some of them are blue. These are the energies that will be awakening your gifts. The green emerald energies awakening your healing abilities. The blue energies awakening your awareness of the divine. The white golden light bringing the Christ consciousness, the ability to understand the oneness of all beings in the eternal one, the eternal now, the prime creator, you might say. These are all energies that are awakening awarenesses and gifts in anyone who works with the dragon lines. And dear ones, you are doing that. This blessing is coming to Gaia right now from the greater cosmos. The dragon lines are being energized with great gifts for the ascension of this world. And you, dear ones, are the first to feel them as node keepers. You might feel a little tingle. You might feel a little goosebump energy. Your hairs might be tickling a little bit. Maybe if you have a beard, your chin might be tickling, or your eyebrows. You are feeling energies that are coming to you from the greater cosmos, from the eternal one. Let these dragon energies bathe you, dear ones. Do not be surprised if you see more than usual dragons in the clouds, or the rocks, or the trees, or even some vehicle driving by on the road that has a strangely dragon look to it. These things are going to be happening as confirmations, dear ones. Confirmation that you are awakening parts of your greater being. This is beautiful. Let us all take a deep breath right now. And as you're inhaling, inhale the light that is coming from the cosmos through the dragon lines. And as you exhale, exhale this light through your heart and out to those around you, the room, the environment. You are filling the space with light from the cosmos. And dear ones, those of you who are able, throughout the next week or so, try to imagine this as you breathe. Ah, yes, the light is still coming in, and I'm still exhaling it through my heart to brighten these spaces, these places I walk. Let it create a twinkle in your eyes. When you smile, maybe there's a little twinkle in your teeth. Who knows? There are beautiful energies that you are swimming in now. That is enough for this blessing. And now we invite those of you gathered here to connect with each other again. And if you have some sort of question or something you would like to bring to the greater assembly of dragon keepers here, please put it in uppercase so that we can see it, and Stephanie will choose one of these.
I see several people giving permission for you to read their energy. I don't know if you want to offer an individual reading blessing. I see Morgan Love is the first person that asked or that gave permission for you to read her energy.
There have already been blessings for those who have given that permission. So let us move on. If anyone has something they would like to bring to the greater awareness of the dragon keepers here. And while we are waiting, it looks like maybe.
I had seen one earlier, a question from Barno Barry Batsback. You channel a message for me, Jadon Se. What does stillness in my power mean? What codes am I here to bring? And more importantly, when am I going to see my dragon again?
Dearest one, and thank you very much for the support. Dearest one, the stillness is a great gift. The stillness is a place where, or an awareness or a level of consciousness where you can transcend all of the noise and chatter of reality, you might say, the densities that you are swimming in here, the mental reactions to so much that you are facing. Some call this the monkey mind, the chatter. The stillness is a great gift, for when you are able to access this still point, so to speak, you are, let us say, opening a channel to your greater beingness. Many of you have been familiar with these crude technologies called radios, where when you are tuning into a station on a radio, there is this noise that happens in between stations, and it can be very loud, like a roar, when you're in between channels, so to speak. And then you find a station, and perhaps on this particular radio station, it's in between somebody saying something or some music that's going to start, and all of a sudden the noise just fades away and there is stillness on this channel. This is not a lack of focus. This stillness is the opposite of that. It is a tuning in and a great focus. You are tuning out the noise because your channel to the divine in the stillness is tuned in, let us say. You are perfectly attuned to your greater, higher self. And this is a great gift. Once you have tuned in and there is true stillness, the stillness itself is a reward. It is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is full of spirit, you might say. It is full of beingness. It is full of awareness. Yes, dear ones. When you find that true stillness, Your greater self is acutely aware of what you are doing, and you are linking up, so to speak, with it. And this is when the truest guidance starts to come. It might feel like a distant whisper at first, a knowingness. You might have a vision. You might have a sudden awareness. This is your greater, higher self guiding you perfectly to your highest good, your highest timeline, you might say, your greatest purpose. Mm, this is a great gift, this stillness. And there was more to the question than the stillness, about the dragon coming back. Mm,
Now, when is he going to see his dragon again? And what codes am I here to bring?
mm. This question of what codes you are here to bring is not for anyone outside of you to answer. This is for your own answer to come through the stillness, so to speak. For if someone gives you your codes, a voice on YouTube, even if it is a cosmic golden dragon, any external voice will not be your own true channel to your own highest purpose. This is why we do not give those of you the name of your personal dragon. We don't usually even describe what your personal dragon looks like to you, for you need to tune into that yourself. And the more you do, the more you will make it yours. And the more you make it yours, this dragon energy of yours, this dragon spirit of yours, the more the true guidance comes through that dragon, the true assistance, the true protection, the true support, all of the qualities of that dragon will be in full alignment with you. And this is the answer to your next question. When will my dragon return? Your dragon will return when you tune into this, when you find that stillness in you, when you call out directly to your dragon, when you have named your dragon and you call that dragon's name within. You do not share this name, dear ones. You do not share a description of your dragon with anyone unless they are very close indeed with you. For as you do this, you are scattering the energies, so to speak. It is a highly personal situation, having your own dragon. Let us move on to another question. I hope that helped.
Okay, I see Home Drawn is asking, is it true that many soulmate unions will dissolve to make space to reunite real twin flames in this golden age? And a request for blessing to heal all lonely light workers still waiting for this union.
Oh, dear one, we feel your loneliness. We feel the pang, the hunger pang of this question. And we do know, all of us, every light worker here is acutely aware that as your heart opens and as your energetic comes online, so to speak, relationships often do rearrange themselves. The channel that is listening to this dragon speak through him is just at the end of a very large timeline jump in the beginning of a new beautiful timeline. And it is these timeline jumps happen because of openings. This is the 2-year anniversary of this dearest Stephanie and dearest Stephen meeting each other through a stargate that opened a portal, and a miraculous meeting, and turned into a love that is very deep. And this happened because your channel, this Stephen, had gone through a heart-opening experience, through meditation, through other listening to other angelic beings, and yes, dragons. This one's heart expanded and opened, and his previous partner did not like this change, so to speak, did not like to see this partner's heart open and beaming and moving with purpose. And it is not always easy for someone who is in their comfort zone, so to speak, to have their partner changing, even if it is for the better. And let us make a long story short, it ended in divorce. He ended up moving on, and now he has found his perfect love. It does not matter if you call this a twin flame. It does not matter. These are labels, dear ones. This is something you might use to describe. It feels like me in another body. This person is so completely like me and in harmony with me that we finish each other's sentences and all this. That is a beautiful relationship, and it is no better, dear ones, than any relationship of love. It is simply a different kind of experience. When you have this twin flame experience, it is not necessary for all to be working with their twin flame. Sometimes it is not even desirable for your twin flame to be present, for it can be quite a distraction. You can fall into it, so to speak. So let what is right for you be guided by your highest, greatest self with a capital S. And if you are feeling lonely, we feel this. For all the light workers who are feeling lonely at this time, even those who may be in partnership and feel greatly misunderstood or left out of some process, or left behind by their partner, or there's some misunderstanding between you, or you are estranged from your partner for some reason. These are all feelings of loneliness, not feeling seen and understood and appreciated. For any light worker who is feeling this way for any reason, let us all together offer a group blessing, especially those of us who are in a deep loving relationship and have this loving energy in our lives on a daily basis. Let us share this and beam it to the others. Let this be a light of encouragement and joy and hope and love for all of the light workers who are listening either now or on a recording. Yes, dear ones, you are being blessed by the love that is here right now. This is very beautiful. Let us move on to another question. I hope that helped.
Beastmaster has a question. I have heard that the alien plant recently discovered in Panama is actually called the dragon plant. Can you tell us anything about the plant?
Dear ones, there is not just one plant that is a dragon plant. There are many, and the awareness of these plants is growing as the dragon energies awaken, so to speak, in many light workers around this world. There are plant medicines coming to light that you would be astonished about. And this dragon plant of which you speak carries many beautiful properties. We will not go too deeply into any one of these beautiful plant medicines, but let us just say that there are awakenings happening globally, not just in your Mesoamerica. There are awakenings happening in every forest, in every jungle, on every beach, on every grassy hill of plants. Yes, because not only the plant energies are making themselves apparent, but dear ones, many of you designed these plants in, yes, you would call this your Lemuria. You are here in lifetimes working, oftentimes as children, with the Fae folk, with the Pleiadians, to design beautiful plants and flowers, some medicinal, some just fragrant and beautiful, some to balance ecosystems. And you are remembering different characteristics and capabilities of these plants because you put them into these plants, and they are still here after thousands of years, many hundreds of thousands of years in some cases. Dear ones, do not underestimate your own power to tap into nature. just having a conversation with a plant, not with words, but an energetic conversation, just touching this plant, sending it love, smiling at it, and feeling its energies coming back to you, can unlock so many secrets for you, dear ones. Mm, be careful with these energies. It is sometimes a little abrupt when you are touching a plant and you suddenly start to levitate. You might shock yourself, dear ones. So be prepared to do it with ease and grace. And if something starts to happen that's a little too much for you to take in all at once, just slow down, take a breath, and just send love to this plant. This can be done with rocks and mountains, streams, even the ocean. But plants are a beautiful place to start. Mm. Dearest one with this question, please see if you can get a hold of this dragon plant from your Panama, from your Mesoamerica, and start working with it. It has come to your attention for a reason. I hope this helps.
Nazi has a question. Could you please tell us about bloodline and how do they relate to dragon energies?
This is a deep question. There are bloodlines on this world that have, let us say, a long-standing relationship with the dragons, and especially if you are RH negative, especially then, you have dragons around you quite often. You may not even be aware of it, but they are there, for they are your guardians. This royal bloodline, you might say, needs guardianship, for it is targeted so often by, let us say, forces of mistaken separation. Like, we will not judge. They are forces, shadow working energies, let us say. They, many of them know the power of this bloodline and even of the blood substance itself, and value it highly. They prize it. This is why they do not just murder your RH negative beings, for even if they have a danger of awakening others and limiting what the darker ones can do, they do know that they want to preserve this blood for their own selfish purposes, let us say. This RH negative bloodline, the royal bloodline, is one of many. Every blood has its own characteristics. There is no one blood that is better than the other. Each one serves a reason, has a vibratory essence, you might say. And there are those that are closer to dragons. It would not be surprising at all if everyone in this gathering today, right now, is either of RH negative or O blood type. It would not be surprising in the least, for these blood types, blood lines, you might say, blood lineages, they are resonant with dragon energies, very resonant. This does not mean if you have A or B or AB, whatever, some sort of mixture of bloods, it does not mean that you cannot work with dragon energies. You certainly can. And, dear ones, oftentimes a being who has very strong relationships with the dragons will come into this density with a blood type that is a certain, not normally associated with dragons, because they are, shall we say, cloaking themselves somewhat. They are disguised, you might say, so that they are not detected. So do not judge your blood type. However, if you do have an RH negative, a negative blood type, know that you have a very resonant ability to open your very blood cells themselves to work with the dragon energies. Your O blood type is also very natural and ancient and very accustomed to working with dragons. I hope this helps.
Okay, I see Leslie Cuesta has a question. What are the dancing stars? Some of them have been more active and brighter than previous.
Dear ones, Every star has a consciousness. Mm. Small children often look up at the sky and they say, "Hello, moon," or they say, "Hi, twinkling little star." They speak directly to the stars. And those of you who are very sensitive, when this happens, you will feel an energy return to them from the moon or that star or a planet, etc. You will feel a response. And it is immediate. It does not take light years to get here. It is instantaneous. Consciousness has no speed. It is not limited by the speed of light, you might say. Mm. You may actually connect with a star that has already gone supernova and you're just still seeing the light of it. Dear ones, when something passes away, its energetic is still present. This is why when somebody loses an arm or a foot or a leg, they still feel what are called phantom pains. It is not just nerve endings firing, dear ones. It is an etheric limb, let us say. Your etheric body, your light body, your astral body, your causal body. There are so many different bodies and names for them. Only the physical, dense 3D body is visible for your visible 3D eyes. If you have your third eye open, so to speak, your inner sight is very clear. You can clearly see a missing limb still present from someone who has lost a leg. You can very clearly see a star that has already gone supernova. Its etheric presence is still there. That is a center point for consciousness. Every star is a center of consciousness, and some of them have, shall we say, messages for us at times. Have you ever looked upon a starry sky and noticed that one is dancing like a disco ball? It sometimes looks like it's changing colors and rainbow colors, and it's twinkling and it's very active. And you might say, well, it's just the atmosphere and heat waves, and there are conventional explanations that people use to write these things off. And then you take a closer look and say, well, wait a minute, if it's just the atmosphere, why is the star that's right next to it not twinkling and dancing? They're both about the same amount of atmosphere because they're both low on the horizon or whatever. And you have to wonder, well, if it's just the atmosphere, why aren't all the lower stars twinkling like this? There's heat all around me, and this, there must be an explanation. Dear ones, there is an explanation. That star has a message for you. Yes, dear ones, if your attention moves to a star, a single light in the night sky, there is a message there for you. Your attention was called there, so to speak, by some part of yourself, by some message that is coming through that star from your higher self. Your higher self uses the agency of angels, dragons, stars, trees, oceans, light upon the water. Yes, your light codes are very equivalent to stars in the night sky. When light dances on the water and comes up to you, and you see the sparkles, and they have a certain coding to them, perhaps you might say. They come in a sequence that does something to you. This is a message coming through the waters from your star, the sun, or the moon, even bouncing off of these waters and to you. Those of you who are scientific, look into experiments where the egg of frog has had light shown through it from the egg of a lizard, and suddenly the lizard is born out of the frog's egg. This is real science. It really happens. Light carries energies that can change reality. Yes, dear ones, a frog or a lizard can be born from another animal's egg by light. It is a fact. You might say to the scientific people, look it up. And as you become aware that this is true, then you become aware that the light is in itself consciousness. The light is in itself aware. And as you do become aware of this, every star in the night sky will always have a message for you, dear one, an awakening of some kind. The next time you see a disco ball in the night sky, gaze deeply into it. You are getting something, some message, something inside of you is waking up. Beautiful.
Cool Boss says, "Hi, Jadon Se. For vitality, you mentioned aging is a lie. Is this because the human body has been altered or because our mind has been altered? How can we better connect with our great bodies?"
Dear ones, know that consciousness is fundamental to life. Consciousness itself is life. Your body is simply a reflection of consciousness. And as your consciousness is, shall we say, filtered or restricted through belief systems, so then your reality mirrors that consciousness. If you hold a strong belief that you will only live 80 to 100 years or so, then it shall be so. And where did that belief come from? This is where we can start to peel back the layers of beingness that limit us and to see. You might, if we use this metaphor of a computer program, you might have a program that was installed early in your life that is still running to this day in the background, saying, I am aging, I am, my teeth are getting, less white, and my gums are not in great shape, or my hair is falling out, or my organs are starting to have issues, my joints are getting stiffer, my eyes no longer work. All of these programs that were installed into your subconscious are creating your body. Full stop. You create your own body. And if you wear rose-colored glasses, then everything looks like it's rosy-colored. If you wear the glasses that all humans are aging and that nobody lives past about 100, or maybe the oldest person in the world is some 115 or 20 years old, and that is the record, then that is your reality. If you wake up, so to speak, you will realize that there are beings on your planet who have lived for many hundreds of years. Look into, here is an example for those of you who are skeptical. Read your Paramahansa Yogananda autobiography of a yogi, and you'll see there is a being who is in this book who is corroborated by many other stories and beings named Babaji. And this being has been on your world for thousands of years. He is eternally youthful. Let us just say he is ageless by choice. And it is not an easy choice. For one so advanced to stay in this density is a great commitment. It is a great sacrifice and service that this great Mahavatar Babaji is still here on this world after all this time. If you choose, dear ones, you can uninstall or delete, so to speak, these programs that have been installed. It is difficult, for they are reinforced all the time through reflections all over this world. It is not an easy thing to do. However, it is possible, and there are those who are doing it. I hope this helps.
Okay, I see Jane Lawrence is asking, Jadon Se, does the rose line interact with the male-female dragon energy lines around the planet?
Dear ones, the energies of the rose are, let us just call them, the most beautiful divine feminine energies present on this planet at this time. They are so beautiful and so full of love, tenderness, nurturing, caring, understanding, compassion. This rose line, the roslyn, you might say, is part of an ancient gridwork laid down by, you might call them the remnants of the Essenes. They are mm, beings that have never left this world, that hold the holy vibration of the divine feminine. And there are many nodes and points on this rose line, this Roslyn. Mm, Many beautiful chapels and sacred sites, sacred stones. And yes, dear ones, many of these have dragon energies. They are, you might say, mm, rose dragons, even. For you can take any color or energy or vibrational state and express it in dragonhood, in dragonness, in dragon energies. The rose dragons. You will see if this, when this oracle deck comes out that we are enjoying creating together, there is a rose dragon. And this rose dragon has a beautiful blessing in it. Her breath is so amazing, the rose breath. And yes, dear ones, these lines intersect and work with each other. Your Mary Magdalene has a dragon. We will not reveal much about this other than she does have one and she can appear as one. Mm. And so, of course, there is an intersection and an intertwining of these energies. Any divine energy, any divine feminine energy expressed through a dragon is rose energy. I hope this helps.
Okay. See, University of Liesel. The story of the Odyssey by Homer, is this also true in the same way the Lord of the Rings is, as you've mentioned before? So, is the story the Odyssey by Homer, is this also true?
Dear ones, every story is true. Let that sink in. Every story you will ever tell, ever hear, or have ever heard is true. This is hard to believe, especially with some of these fantastical stories. Perhaps the Brothers Grimm or Beowulf or some of these legends. They are all true. They all have their own reality, their own, shall we say, corridors of reality and eternity. Any story that you hear, you could, if you wish, visit that world. You could jump into that story, so to speak. Many of them I think you might not wish to, because some of them are very scary or frightening or nasty. And even those stories will have some sort of lessons in them, some sort of understanding. And so sometimes people like to go to scary movies. It is like this. When you go to a movie, you are sitting there just in the seat, soaking in this movie. And oftentimes the movie is so compelling that you feel like you're there, that you're in it. You'll feel like when something happens, your heart sinks or rises, tears fall down your eyes. Obviously, this is not just light flickering on a screen. There is a story that you are immersing yourself in. And this is like a little day trip to another universe, you might say. It is like a little excursion into another realm of reality. From where you sit, you have certain rules that you are not permitted to just vanish in a ball of light and appear in Middle Earth with elves and hobbits around you. However, it is fully possible for you to do this as you become a light walker. Not a light worker, light walker, walking upon the light. As you become a light walker and you remember how to do this, you can light walk into any world you wish. This is a 5D experience. So these are some of the things awaiting after the ascension for those of you who end up in 5D. These experiences of understanding stories by immersing yourself in them can be more full blown, so to speak. Instead of just sitting in the movie theater safely in your own little world, in your own 3D reality that you could very easily run out the fire escape at any moment and not be trapped in that world, it is the same. Any world you visit, once you learn to be able to visit them and co create them and flesh them out, so to speak, you will be able to visit at will. And if you can get there, you can very easily exit. You will not get trapped in some terrible nightmarish world somewhere. Do not worry about this. It is a realm of fun you will play in at some point. Just know that every story ever told is real and has its own reality. There may be a little overlap with the reality you stand in now, and maybe there's hardly any overlap, and it feels like it is just a fantasy. That is simply you from where you are standing looking at this other story as fantasy. It is real for those in that story, dear ones. Mm, I hope this helps. It is a highly multidimensional discussion to go down this path. And this is something that we can all explore together in the future if you wish.
Aaron Darvish has a question. Jadon Se, what is the difference between the dragons and the Alpha Draconians?
Ah, mm, well, this is a story, of course, the story of Alpha Draconis and the beings, your draconian reptilian beings. And right now, it is in the spotlight, so to speak, for these mm, a sect of these Alpha Draconians, the reptilians, the ones employed by the Anunnaki, you might say, and some might say that the Anunnaki are these Draco reptilians. And in this version of reality that I am sitting in with, though those gathered here, this is not the case. The Anunnaki are actually originally Lyran, and the Alpha Draconi, you might say, are a reptilian race that came through portals into this reality, and the Draco reptilians who mm, worked with some shadow working dragons, let us say. There are dragons who are willing to go there. There are dragons who are willing to dip into the shadows, so to speak. They are usually doing it for benevolent reasons. They wish to dip down into these denser realities in order to be of service down there in some way. It is not always easy to spot how they are being of service, especially when you see them doing things that people consider to be evil. There are, well, let us say, some of the dragons who have worked with some of the reptilians who are very aggressive and patriarchal and let's say wanted to build an empire and rule it with an iron fist. These dragons teamed up, you might say, with this type of reptilian being in this story that is very important to the story of this world at this time. And those Alpha Dracone have done some very, we might say, oppressive things to humans here on this world, including meddling with their DNA, enslaving them, doing things that most star beings think are very naughty and not under universal law and not kosher, so to speak. You can follow this story as deeply as you wish. Just know that there are some dragons that have worked with some reptilian beings to do some things that seem very evil from your story's viewpoint. And because of this, they have suffered a reputation hit, so to speak. Some people think, oh, dragons and reptilian beings are all evil. This is simply not the case. And it is very easy to say that when you look at some of the things that certain dragons and certain reptilians have done. Those who are wise enough know that this is a very small subset of the beings you are surrounded by, so-called negative beings, doing naughty things. And dear ones, they are all playing roles. These roles are there for a reason. Every good story needs a villain. Every good story needs some antagonist to overcome. And so the protagonist can be so much more glorious in the end. I think all of you can see this. And yes, so there is truth to certain reptilian and dragon alliances being negative from your point of view, dear ones.
Michael Petronella has a question. During our golden ages, were our bodies self-sustaining and eating was optional? Question mark.
Dearest Michael, you are speaking of golden ages as being in the past. This is fine for many light workers in this density need these timeline references. It is like a perspective thing, looking backward to your Atlantis, etc. These golden ages are all connected and linked up, so to speak. And in these golden ages, there are so many different ways of expressing your physicality. Mm, you might say that being lighter is part of it for sure. Mm, that your bodies were able to even shapeshift. That you are able to walk through what you call stargates. That you are able to increase the resonance of your own beingness. You might call this your Merkaba energies can spin so fast that you disappear into a ball of light, and this ball of light can either wink out and appear somewhere else as if teleporting, or can move, excuse this one, it can move at great speeds through the cosmos. Mm, what would seem like impossible speeds, even what you might call time traveling, time jumping, timeline jumping. Dear ones, there are many abilities that you will begin to play with once again. You can call it once again. You can say that it was a past golden age and you're coming back to it again. It is not correct, really. It is another golden age that is connected with the other. And you will see, yes, some of the same abilities appearing. And yes, dear one, your body. There is a shift underway on all bodies on this Gaia right now. It is a restructuring of the cellular beingness and expression, we will call it. The cellular expression of beings here is changing. As the vibration changes, the light quality changes, so your bodies change. You are becoming lighter, more crystalline, more full of light. You will see soon beings will glow. It will not be obvious. You will not necessarily see something like in your churches where there's this great radiance around somebody's head, this effulgence. You will notice it at first when you are walking along a dark road or in a cave or somewhere. You will notice that there is just a little bit of light dancing around everyone, and that you can kind of see even in dark places. And then those who are sensitive enough will see that the light is coming from the people. This will just be a natural thing. Water will start to glow. You'll be able to put a glass of water next to your bed at night, and it will be your very gentle, soothing nightlight. It will glow. There will be many different beautiful changes that will happen slowly, slowly, for if they happen too abruptly, it will be a shock to the system and people might freak out, so to speak. I hope this helps.
I think one last question, perhaps from Lot of Love. Is there a good and simple practice to align the left and right brain? Thank you so much.
Dear one, this question is a little mechanistic. The structure of the brain is an expression of spirit. It is, you might call it a portal or a transceiver or an instrument of 3D. And it is designed, dear one. It does not just happen this way. There are reasons why some beings prefer to express as masculine form and some as feminine. And if you look at the actual design of this energetic structure called the brain, it is energy, dear one. It is not even fully matter. It is a network of energies. And if you look at the feminine expression versus the masculine expression, you will see this. You might call it a nerve called the corpus callosum that runs between the hemispheres of the brain. And many people know that females are multitaskers and males are more like archers and hunters and focused on their prey, so to speak. And so the females walking in the village with a child in one arm, gathering herbs in the forest and knowing where all of the resources are and what to do with them and doing them, all these things simultaneously. They must shift hemispheres rapidly all the time. If they could not, then a child might die while they were preparing some beautiful plant medicine. And the hunters, the men in many typical situations out hunting with their bows and arrows or their guns or whatever it is, they are stalking prey. They are focused ahead of themselves. They are being stealthy. They are not shifting hemispheres rapidly. They have long periods of time where they must focus. And so you have a corpus callosum that is very different. Their shifting of hemispheres is designed differently. There is a reason why it is different. Their function demands it to be different. Some people will jokingly say that the corpus callosum of a woman is like a 6-lane freeway and the corpus callosum of a man is like an old dirt path. And they would not be wrong. If you notice a man working in the garage or under his car and you come and you start to ask him what he wants for dinner, you will see this delay where he has to put down his tools and reset, and there's a vague look of blankness on his face while he is waiting to answer what he wants for dinner, for it takes him a little bit to shift from gears and pulleys and wrenches to what is yummy. These are two different hemispheres. This is a different way of thinking, and so this little dirt path takes a little time for those donkeys to walk across it, so to speak. And with the woman, it is like instantaneously. She could be working to create something in the oven that is beautiful and highly technical, and the daughter might grab her pants and tug on him and say, "Mommy, I dropped my toy," and be crying, and she can keep working with the oven and be soothing the loved one with no delay whatsoever. She can switch these hemispheres instantaneously. There is a reason why there are these differences. It is a functional difference. It is by design. There is not one that is better or worse. It is simply a difference. And was there more to this question?
Yeah, is there a simple practice to balance the left and right brain?
Balancing. This is very similar to the practice of balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the left, the right, the creative, the analytical, the yin, the yang. It is beautiful when a being reaches that beautiful balance, and it is not ever finished, dear ones. Like riding a bicycle, you must remain vigilant while you are pedaling, especially if you're going quickly down a hill that has potholes or something like this. You must balance these to be able to ride that bicycle effectively. And if you cannot balance them, you better not get on that bicycle. You better walk. And so it is not something that is necessarily a given practice or something that needs to be done all the time. It is an ability, a skill, so to speak, that can be developed by simply doing the balancing, by simply getting on that bicycle and pedaling around, so to speak. It is something you must learn to do. And once you've learned, it is very easy to return to it, so to speak. I hope this helps.
It is 10 minutes past the hour. I don't know if we want to ask.
Let us do one more question.
Okay, let's see here. Tevin Smith asks, can you explain chaos and Maelstrom elements, please and thanks?
Chaos, and I believe the word he meant was maelstrom. The maelstrom, if you have a rocky fjord, say that you are rowing a Viking longship along the rocky fjords and the tide is changing very rapidly, as it does in the higher latitudes, and say there is this very strong tidal force where some water is moving in and some water is moving out, and there are rocks and there is this, it seems like chaos. There is this maelstrom. Oftentimes it is like a funnel or it is like when the whirlpool goes down the drain, and if the ship gets pulled into a maelstrom, it can be torn to pieces and turn into a terrible shipwreck, and the bodies of the Vikings are sucked down this terrible funnel, this whirlpool. That seems like chaos a little bit, but there is even more to chaos than this. For that whirlpool itself is ordered. Chaos is simply, as we spoke about the radio, and when you are in between channels, there is a noise. This is a lack of coherence, a lack of focus, and the more the lack of focus, the more the roar that you hear between the radio stations. It is the same with chaos. Chaos is the absence of focus or order. And when you have this beautiful chaos, it is raw energy. It is potential energy. It is what we call the ether. The ether is potential. It is ready to be focused into beingness. It is great energy and force that is unharnessed, so to speak. There is no force of chaos. You hear people speak of entropy, this thing that happens where over time anything that is ordered will break down again. Metal objects will rust and turn into dust and scatter on the winds. And there is no one force that causes chaos. Chaos is the background. It is the field upon which order springs up, let us say. And how does it spring up? Consciousness. Consciousness is always ordered. Consciousness is not by nature chaotic, though it may experience chaos at times and even chaotic psychologies. It is of itself the very essence of order and focus. And when chaos and focus, order come into beingness together, this is when you have expressed external realities. This is why consciousness is fundamental to all life. It is because without the consciousness, it is simply chaos. It is simply the canvas upon which we can paint. And it is more than just canvas, for it is not just a 2D surface, but this is a metaphor. I'm sorry if it does not serve. It is the background field, so to speak, upon which consciousness can create. And when consciousness is present, the consciousness orders realities and creates stories and realities upon this field of chaos. It is a beautiful balance, and there is nothing wrong with chaos. It is not horrible or terrible. This maelstrom of which you speak, it kind of strikes fear into the hearts of every Viking seafarer, for they can be pulled down this whirlpool and their ship can be torn apart. And this implies that chaos is an actual guided force or terrible force that will tear everything apart. This is just a story, dear one. It's like the story of sailing off the edge of the world. It is just a way of expressing fear and terror in a very highly creative way, and it is beautiful. But there is nothing wrong with chaos, let us say. Very good. Let us then finish this beautiful time that we've had together with calling out where we are now from. There are some who have joined. Please call out where you are on this beautiful Gaia, and we will have fun with this. We will connect with each other again. We have Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Miami, Queensland. We have Bournemouth, England. We have who else? Chime in, please. Let us see now. We have Holland. We have Sedona, Arizona. We have New Hampshire, Turkey, Anatolia. We have New Zealand, Groves, Texas, Amsterdam. We have Folsom, California, Long Island, New York, Utah, Berkeley, California, Florida. Do you feel this, dear ones? Do you feel this energy starting to build? London, England. We have Thailand. We have Canada here. We have Chile, though it was misspelled. She's trying to go too quickly. We have so many beautiful beings from all over this globe. England, yes, Chile. Then we have beautiful beings from all over Queensland. This is Australia, I believe. Yes, down under, they say. I wonder, are there? Yes, there are dragons that have Australian accents. Beautiful. Yes, and we have North Bend. I believe this is in your Oregon state of the United States. Yes, dear ones, we have beautiful beings, these light workers linking up all over this your Gaia. You are all dragon keepers. All of you are on dragon lines. If you weren't before, you are now. Your home, your abode is in the intersection of dragon lines. You are all linked. Can you feel it? Can you feel each other? Pennsylvania, yes. This is beautiful. This gathering is very special. It does not matter how many of us gather. What matters is that we feel each other and that you know that you are not alone in working with your dragon energies. Call on each other if needed energetically. We have the Netherlands. We have Cape Town, South Africa. We have Pennsylvania, California. This is beautiful. Feel each other. Yes, dear ones, feel this. This has been a very beautiful time together. Many thanks. And please review this recording if you came late because there was a blessing in the beginning. We love you, and we will talk to you on your Saturday. Goodbye.